What's going on, everybody? We're back with another video in the series as we go through each and every NBA team and break the teams down and give our season predictions for them. Today we got the Chicago Bulls, another Eastern Conference team. Like I said, it's just the way the cards are falling as far as going in order of alphabetical order by the cities. Chicago's up next, then we got Cleveland, and then after that we'll finally have our first Western Conference team that we can dive into. But today's about the Chicago Bulls, so let's talk about them. Believe that this team had the most improved offseason of any team in the league. The only team that might be able to bait that is the Lakers. But if you look on paper, I believe that this team definitely improved the most from last season to this season. But with that said, the game's not played on paper, it's played on the court. So we got to see how things turn out there. That's what's really going to matter. This team brings in 3 20-point-per-game scorers with Vucevic, Levine, and DeMar DeRozan. And then they've got 2 15-point-per-game scorers with Lonzo and Coby White. And those are all based on what they did last year, not career or historical or anything, but just strictly what they did last year coming into this year. So that's where I'm getting these point numbers from. But with that said, this team's not going to have any issues scoring the ball. It doesn't sound like. That's a lot of points just between 5 players, and you've got more than 5 players on the roster, and more guys are going to contribute than that. So this team should not have issues getting buckets. With that said, most teams are usually going to be sacrificing their defense if they've got those kind of scorers on the team. This team does not fall into that category. You've got Lonzo Ball, you got Patrick Williams, you got Derrick Jones Jr., and you got Alex Caruso, and these are all solid defensive players. And also to go along with that, the guards that aren't as great on defense with Levine and Coby White, these dudes are still tall guards, and tall guards are going to help cover the floor a little bit better. You've got the shortest guard that's going to be getting rotational minutes is 6'4", and that's Alex Caruso. Like I said, he's a solid defensive player. And then you got Coby White and Zach LaVine that are around that 6'5" area. They're going to be able to cover the floor. These dudes are quick. And they're tall guards, so they're going to help make up for their defensive liabilities just strictly because they're tall and they're quick. Coby White and Patrick Williams are going to be injured and out to start the season. Both should be back by mid to late November at the absolute latest. Patrick Williams got an ankle sprain right now. He's out about 4 to 6 weeks. Coby White's recovering from shoulder surgery. He's expected mid to late November. And with that said, I think Coby White comes in that mid to late November, and I think this dude lights it up off the bench. I think he becomes that 6th man that they're going to need, that scoring option off the bench, and he's my dark horse pick for 6th man of the year. So that's what I think Coby White's going to do. I think we're going to see an insane season from him. I think a lot of people are going to be impressed with what he can do. And quite frankly, I think he's going to have kind of that Jordan Clarkson type season where he comes in and he might be getting 20 off the bench. And he's going to look like someone who should be in the starting lineup, but this team's just so deep that you can't put him there now. And then you got Patrick Williams. I assume he's going to be starting at that power forward position because that's the only kind of open position there. And I think he's just going to come in and flourish this year. He's been getting Kawhi Leonard comparisons since the start of last year. Just the way that he plays, his defense is elite. He can shoot the 3 ball a little bit. He shot 37% in his rookie season. So now he's going to be able to come in and know that he can do that. And he's going to have less pressure on him because you've got guys like Lonzo coming in. You've got DeMar DeRozan coming in. And these guys are just going to take pressure off of him and just let him be able to be smoother in his play. Because defenses are going to have to worry about those guys, and they might forget Patrick Williams is there, and that's just going to lead to an easy bucket for him. So I think we can see him take a step up, hopefully. But like I said, this is also a deep team, so it's going to be hard for all of these guys to keep their individual stats as high as they were coming into this season. But that's part of the game. I think if this team's gonna do anything, they're going to have to all sacrifice their individual stats. Everyone's probably going to take a bump or 2 down in scoring, but that might see their assists go up because they're going to be distributing the ball to their teammates a little more. Lonzo's going to be the one mainly doing that, so I expect him to kind of have the biggest hit of all these players. I think maybe he goes down to around 12 points a game, but I think he comes up to about 8 or 9 assists per game because he's just going to be able to dish that ball out to all these scorers. So we'll see what this team does. I think this team's about a 4 or 5 seed. That's where I have them in my little mock playoff bracket that I made. Obviously, it's very early to be doing that, but I've gotta have that so I know where to put these teams and where to project them at. So I think this team's about a 4 to 5 seed, middle of the pack playoff team, and I think that would be really great for them considering they didn't even make the playoffs last year. They threw all this money at all these players, and I think 4 to 5 seed, I think they would be very happy with that, especially with the first year of this core being together. Hopefully this core can stick around for a little bit. I hope there's no issues with people getting along with team chemistry or anything, because I think this could be a really fun team to watch. And there's a lot of different dynamics as far as the players that they have on the roster. You got Lonzo, who's a playmaking point guard. You got Zach LaVine. That's a dude that's going to go out there and get buckets, almost averaged 30 a game last year, and he is super confident, especially now in Chicago where he gets to be the main man. And then you got DeMar DeRozan, who's just a veteran mid-range scorer. He knows his role. He knows what to do. Then you got Vucevic, that's a big man that can bully people in the post on offense. He can step out to the three-point line. And he was even leading in three-pointers from the top of the key for a majority of the season last year. So he can easily step out to the line or step out to the key and make those shots for you. And then you're going to have Coby White coming in off the bench. Like I said, he's a microwave player. And he's just going to make things really easy to transition from that first unit to the second unit. But like I said, I hope there's no team chemistry issues because this team could be really, really cool to see play together. And with that 4 to 5 seed said, I do think this team's a second round exit. I think they make it through that 4-5 matchup, and then I think they get knocked out by whoever the 1 seed is, which I presume is going to be the Brooklyn Nets. Again, all of these predictions are being made assuming that there's not going to be any key injuries, but as we all know, injuries are going to happen. They're part of the game. I've said it a million times already, but I'm presuming there's not going to be any injuries. So I think this team, second round exit, knocked out by the Brooklyn Nets, and that's what I got for the Chicago Bulls. Next up, we're going to have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then we're finally going to get to our first Western Conference team with the Dallas Mavericks. And then after that, I don't really know what we have, but that's what you got to look forward to. Really appreciate you watching. Make sure you like the video, comment on it, subscribe, share with some friends, do anything that we can to get this engagement up, get this activity out there, because I really want to blow this thing up this year. But really it's overall just practice for me. For those that don't know, I want to get into sports broadcasting, sports analysis, somewhere along those lines. So this is really all just practice for me. I'm in front of a camera. I'm talking about sports. So that's really all this is. Anything else that comes with it is just a bonus. So again, I really appreciate you guys watching. Tune in for the next one. Peace out.